Hey Bloxburgers, grab a coffee because this was Bloxburg's 2024.
We are all brought here today for one simple reason.
Introducing the Bugcatcher 3000.
Thankfully, Froggy Hops is now the game director once again, and not only that, but he is also now the studio manager.
Oh my god, the secret door, the actual secret door.
They brought in communism.
And you become a literal burger bun.
Don't make it make sense, guys. Why can't we kill the mice? Today is the day that Bloxburg goes free. And I mean free. F-R-E-E.
First of all, we enter February 8, 2024. And this update was the Valentine's Day update. Valentina came back to town with her little cart, causing some drama with Susan and Tom, and then she left again. She brought with her some new Valentine's Day items such as a pillow, a gift bag, and some more lovely items. This also came with the mid-century furniture that a lot of you still love and use today. And apart from that, we've also brought new plants, new plant pots, and you guys sure love those expensive monsteras. And this also meant that the snow had disappeared and the grass came back, and winter was finally over. We're closing the door behind February and moving on to March 14, 2024. And this update was known as the Trash Update. It came with very cheap items such as broken doors, broken windows, broken stoves, broken walls, wooden pallets, broken beds, trash, and instant noodles. For this update, we wanted to go as cheap as possible, and it shows. And that was because we had announced that the game was going to become free to play. And with this update, we wanted to offer something for everyone. If you want to rent out your house or a room in your house, but you had to keep it as cheap as possible, this is what you could use for the new players to make them feel welcome in the rich environment that Bloxburg is. But also so that if people do delete their starter house right at the start, they could at least use this to start building up again. Rags to riches, if you will. And we're closing the door behind March of 2024. And we're moving on to April 1st of 2024. And this was the hamburger update. And all I can say about this one is hamburger. This was our April Fool's Day update, turning the entire map into hamburgers and hamburger trees. And what you had to do is you had to collect pieces of a hamburger to make a full hamburger. So you could become a true Bloxburger. Once you finished all of the pieces, your avatar turned into a giant hamburger and you got a special trophy of a hamburger man. Players who joined for the first time that day must have been very confused. And we're closing the door behind April 1st and we're moving on to April 25th. And that was April 25th. Now this update sure happened. This update slashed the job income, added a fainting fee, added a hospital bill, and more to come later. But first we gotta talk about those. This is where we made a huge mistake, and you could tell by the players' sentiment towards the game. We've initiated the biggest protest ever on Roblox on May 5th, and ultimately ended up reverting that and bringing Froggy Hops in charge. But that's for later. Now, apart from all the negativity, this update actually came with a lot of things that players also had asked for. New doors, a big stairwell, a new car, but most important of all, new pre-built houses made by content creators, meaning that the outdated starter houses that were available before this time finally got upgraded, and you finally got more choice to pick a house that you wanted if you didn't feel like building or you felt like renovating something else. But generally, this was not a great time for us, and neither was it for you. Closing the door behind April 25th, finally, we're moving on to June 15th, 2024. And this is when the game became free to play. We reached an all-time high of over 350,000 players and released some new items. These include new mushrooms that you can resize super tall, a new plant, a new moving truck because a lot of people were moving in, And then people who joined when the game was paid access got a free couch car and a trophy. And then a lot of people who didn't play before the game was free to play tried to get a free car and a trophy by telling us they had surely played before. But the game was now free for everyone. And we left an open door for this one because the game is free access. But now moving into June 28th, 2024. This is when summer started and when we added a World Food Festival. This came with pool lights, Asian-inspired lights, a picnic blanket, a market in the city, and in that market we did have a lot of new items, mainly focused on cultural foods, which was a big request from the community. These ranged from charcuterie boards to dumplings and more, and brought people to the town to celebrate different cultures. And this is also where the very popular boba stand got introduced. And we're closing the door behind June 28th and moving further into the summer, because on August 8th we introduced a camping update. And this came with a revamped campsite, new tents, some new trees, and a lot of items related to camping. We've also introduced a new feature that was called bug catching, where you could take a net and catch bugs that were flying around the map. Now these will return when the snow is gone, no worries. But there are a lot of different types of bugs that you can catch and collect, making the camping experience a lot more fun. And we can't forget, this update also had an outhouse. And we're closing the door behind August and enter a very turbulent September. And before we go on to the update, we probably had one of the biggest news facts of the year at that time, which was Froggy Hops taking over management for the game. Froggy Hops has been part of Bloxburg development even before Coffee Stain, and a lot of players were already familiar with him. And after a few turbulent months, this news was met with great positivity and cheer. Now for the update in September came with stage props. We finally have carryable Toms and Susans, we have stick horse riding, there's movable set pieces that a lot of players use as elevators in their home or as car lifts, and lights that will turn as long as you hold a microphone. Now this update also meant a change. There was no more fainting, there was no more vehicle towing fee, and the job income was reverted, with the extra that if you level up in one job, you will also earn more in the other jobs. And we're closing the door behind September and moving on to the Halloween update of 2024 on October 3rd. This one came with a lot of new items. We had the entire medieval set, new plant pots, a new vehicle, and so much more. The Halloween update really feels like a full package. And adding to that, there were new mini-games that you could do to earn tickets to buy some of those items. You could go around the map and collect candy from other players. And then there was also the ghost hunt. And the ghost hunt was a game where you would either search for ghosts or become a ghost and try to hide from the hunters. Doing these fun games unlocked tickets so you could buy some of the new items from the update, while a lot of other items were still available for money made by working. And while we already had a lot of old items, we also added a lot of new items and released them in batches for the first time, so that players would stay excited about the new items instead of getting them all at once. Closing the door behind the Halloween update and moving on to November 29th, and we open the door to the Christmas update. And at the time of recording this video, we are currently in the Christmas update. Now, this update comes with a lot of stuff from previous years, but again added a lot of new items that create a lovely atmosphere, such as the new piñata, the gongs. But then also we added a new kitchen set that was based on retro furniture. So there's retro counters, retro cabinets, and retro appliances such as the coffee machine, the toaster, and more. To get tickets in this update, you could shovel snow from players' plots or go and do mini games in town, and there were 3 different mini games: ice sculpting, snowball fights, or finding clothes so that the people in Bloxburg wouldn't get cold. There was something for everyone. And to close the year, we moved to December 27th. and at the time of recording this update has not been yet out. Our new world designer has made a beautiful theater for the map, with our animator making a great movie for that theater. It also comes with a lot of new items, such as a photo booth, a big limousine, and more. And that was Bloxburg in 2024. It was definitely a year with a lot of ups and downs, and we're looking forward to what's to come in 2025. Let us know what your favorite and least favorite updates were, and enjoy the rest of the holiday period. Hey då!